Let's fill it up. Go girl, it's your birthday. Go fly, I know it's Thursday. Say
Hey, 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 so I'm Evelyn Christine with True for Life Radio. And my co-host is singing.
Abby.
Right now we're at the Luft 1242 H Street Turns Up Music Showcase going on upstairs. Right now a lot of good artists performing. But in the meantime, I have this beautiful young lady, and her name is Heather. Heather was explaining to me her business right before so do you want to explain to our viewers what type of business you have?
Absolutely. So my name is Heather Winfield, born and raised in the DMV. So I own and operate my own business called World English Tutor, in which I tutor ESL to diplomats and professionals and other international students in the DMV.
Okay.
Yep.
So do you target a specific age group, or what age group do you work with mostly?
So primarily I work with adults. I have a lot of colleagues who did a lot of K through 12 instruction, but I like to work primarily with adults because we like to have those kind of like cross-cultural conversations, and those happen best, I think, with adults because they're able to mitigate like what it's like to be in the United States as adults and like what it's like to be, living and working in the United States versus their home countries. And they're here on very, very like serious professional services because they're representing their own countries. So it's really dope. I actually just got back from a conference in Seattle, the TESOL conference in Seattle, in which it brought together researchers and scholars and teachers from all over the country who are doing sort of the same thing as I am.
Okay. So the current like political climate, I'm sure has an impact on the type of work that you're doing since you work with so many international representatives. How would you say that that's affected your business?
Oh my gosh. I mean, for me, for my business, it's not affecting me like terribly because it's a very saturated business that I do. But having just come back from the conference, a lot of people are finding that like if you work in like private language schools, like their enrollment is going down because a lot of international students aren't coming to the U.S. anymore, like a lot. And so for me, like I got a very concentrated like group of clients. But for people who are working in schools, like a lot of international students are not coming here anymore, which was really unfortunate. But when you got a president saying some of the things that our president is, like a lot of people don't want to come.
So how long have you had your business?
Good question. So I've been in business for 2.5 years.
Okay. So I'm sure you had like a regular job like everybody else before then. What made you want to kick your 9 to 5 and say, screw this, I can do something on my own?
I know that's right. So that's a good question. So I was basically in a place in which I felt like a lot of other people were dictating what I could and could not do as an educator. And because I wasn't working in like DC public schools in which there was a whole school board dictating what I could and could not teach, I found that on a smaller level, which is often run predominantly by men, that they were telling me like, this is what you have to teach, and it may not have been culturally relevant or authentic. And so, I don't know, I had a couple of clients on the side, and I just decided to make that switch, and it's been amazing ever since. It's been amazing ever since.
So what advice would you have for other women in these because I feel like every industry besides nursing is a male-dominated industry.
Absolutely.
So what advice would you have for other women in these male-dominated industries, whether it be engineering or IT, that are tired of these boys telling us what to do and are like, forget it, I want to kick my 9 to 5, I want to fire my boss, I want to go into business for myself? What advice would you give someone?
I would honestly sum it up in a one quote, which is just operate in purpose. Like, we all have divine purposes. We all have reasons in which we need to be here in the United States and like work and be in the industries that we are. And however difficult they may be, like, stick to your passion and go for it. I mean, there have been several times in which I've questioned the business that I opened and have been running, but if you stick to it, like stick to the passion that you are most passionate about,
Very
and the money
important.
will flow, the contacts will come. But it's very, very hard to do that when you're bogged down by like misogynist views on the roles that women should play, or especially women of color. So I mean, I just say stick to it, because if you can get through that trial period in which the universe tests you, then you will be in a position of power.
I think that was so eloquently said. Like
Thank you. Thank you.
I want to go home and align my chakras and write in my positive affirmations journal. Like
Right.
you just gave me so much hope.
But it's true. It's true.
It's especially true for music. Like I'm involved in music, and like the music industry is 90% men.
Right.
So it's like I was thinking like the way certain men approach me about things, they wouldn't approach another man that way. And it's like I think you have to circumvent in order to
Yeah.
get where you want in your career.
Absolutely.
It's the same thing. Like
Absolutely. I mean, you got to, it's like there are going to be so many different tests. And I mean, I feel like whatever your spiritual background or whatever your religious background or professional background may be, it's like whenever you want something really badly, the universe is going to test you. And like if you stick to what you want and you're willing to put in the work, because I'm a sole proprietor. Like I have a very small team of people who do the invoices and like the scheduling, but otherwise, like, it's entirely me. And it's very difficult. Don't get it twisted. Like, I'm not out here to say, like, this is the easiest thing in the world. Like, it's not. But if you stick to what you want and you know what you want and you're willing to go after it and you're willing to put in that work, then it will come to you.
So because it's not easy for anybody that's trying to achieve a dream. Like, I think everyone here is, have their own goals that they're pursuing.
Right.
What's gotten you through? Because I know some days are harder than others, and some days it's like, man, forget this.
Yeah.
I want to go back to work. But what's gotten you through those long nights?
Just remembering why I did it in the first place. Like, I love the fact that I set my own standards. I create my own curricula for my students. Like, I am in charge of my schedule. I'm in charge of the type of clients that I have. Because understand that, like, I've had a lot of clients turn me down because they realized I was a black woman. Like, they saw my website and they saw the social media. They saw my name, Heather Winfield, and assumed that it would be like, a middle-aged white professional teacher, and when they saw me they would turn right around. But I mean, you got to stick with the fact that, like, I know why I started this. I know that the work I do is very important, and like the work that I do is necessary. So if I'm not doing it, then who is? And I don't want to leave that up to chance.
I wanted the fast way, they copied the last way. I cut them like black spades.
testing.
Fantastic. Oh, now it comes back on. So you mentioned your website and your social media. Do you want to go ahead and drop that so our viewers know where to find you?
Yeah, absolutely. So my website is wetutor.co, and my personal contact is heather@wetutor.co.
So if you're looking for a tutor, reach
That's
out
exactly
to Heather.
right.
Oh, that rhymes a little bit.
Right.
I'm a rapper. I'm a natural born rapper.
You're a poet, you ain't know it.
You're a poet and you didn't know it. Oh, we're a team.
Yeah.
We're about to.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
on part time, when she's not tutoring, you could rap the rapping poetry duo.
You know it.
Evelyn and
Find
Heather.
us. Exactly.
I love it.
Exactly.
Abby, you got anything you want to say before we get out of here?
No.
She said that so eloquently. No,
I'm good.
I'm good.
Perfect.
So I'm Ellen Christine. You're listening to Trophy Life Radio.
This is Abby.
Abby. We're at the Luft, 1242 H Street. Keep it locked.
Bye-bye.
Coming through the see them sparkles in the air.